My interest in martial arts began because of Bruce Lee. I was fascinated by his movies that I watched, and looking at all the cool punching and kicking, and even when he went "Wah!" and I actually then, from watching the movies, started imitating him, in my parents' living room, getting into trouble because I would jump on the sofa and, from the sofa to the floor, and I tried to do like his, his two-finger push-ups. To this day, I still idolize him. Not just his physical prowess, but also his philosophy. And I constantly quote, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own, which is the banner as soon as you walk into the school. I got enrolled in your traditional karate school, which was Kyokushinkai Ken Karate Do, founded by Masutatsu Oyama. And I studied in that traditional karate system for 3.5 years. And then just before, then we started doing katas and forms, and that got to be boring for me because you were, certainly it had its value, but I couldn't understand the application because you were shadow boxing it, you're doing it in the air. And I like how Bruce Lee's approach was when he said that, instead of doing katas and form, why don't you actually do it on your partner, so you can actually see how the movements relate, applying it to someone else. So I then stopped because of that, because it got just a little too boring, and then waited till after finishing college, stabilizing my career. And it wasn't until I was in my mid-30s, as a birthday present to myself, I returned to martial arts, because at that point, you could say I was going through my midlife crisis, and I was deciding, okay, well, I was just working Monday through Friday, going to the gym. I says, is this as good as it gets with my life? Doing the same thing over and over again. So I was contemplating, okay, well, what are some things I can do to spice up my life? So I said, okay, well, there's martial arts, Tai Chi, there was tennis, golf, photography, cooking, cycling, and I says, okay, I need to find a hobby that's gonna also not conflict with my work. I says, oh, why don't I just return and do martial arts again? So when I shared that with some of, in my inner circle, it was actually my girlfriend's friend's boyfriend at the time that suggested, hey, why don't you check out this school? Because this school offers various styles of martial arts, and you can train them. And I didn't understand the concept. Because traditionally, in a martial arts school, you go to a martial arts school and you only learn that style or that one style. This particular martial arts school was offering multiple styles of martial arts. Because, well, how can you learn multiple disciplines at the same time? And that person then explained, well, it's like when you go to elementary and high school. You're learning math, science, English, history, all at the same time, all occurring in the same week. So I said, you know what, that makes sense. And in some classes you excel in some classes you're average, in some classes you don't have little or no interest. But then gradually over time, they all balance out. And so that's what I did. When I came back into martial arts, I first got into, it was a martial arts school that had Bruce Lee's art, Jeet Kun Do, so I was already excited about that. And then from there, from Jeet Kun Do, I then delved into the other arts. So then I got into Silat, which is a martial arts that's indigenous to Southeast Asia. Muay Thai, which is the national kickboxing sport of Thailand. Filipino martial arts Kali, which specializes a lot in weaponry. Then I got into the ground fighting arts, so that's Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, the no-gi version of Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, which is just submission grappling, and then mixed martial arts. So altogether, there were a lot of different arts I then got into, and then I just was a student training anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week, because after work it was a good stress relief for me. It was an alternative form of exercise. It was also a good social outlet where you were training with like-minded people that wanted to do the same thing that you're doing. Before combat fitness martial arts, I was working in the corporate world for over 20 years. I worked as an industrial engineer by profession, working for companies that most people probably may not have heard of, such as UPS, Sports Authority, IKEA, and then the last company that I was with, and then I got laid off. Actually, it wasn't until after my second layoff did I then convert my passion into my career, because at that time I was already in my early 30s, engaged at the time, and I said, ooh, okay, well, if I venture out to the corporate world again, and following the recent trend that happened in my life, I could get laid off for the third time, and I would have been already stressed out with raising a young family, your mortgage payment, your car payment. I says, I need to take control of my career. So I said, okay, well, you know what? Let me try this out, because the worst case scenario is I can always polish up my resume and pound the pavement and get a job. But then, since I worked hard for corporate America all these years, why don't I just convert that into working hard for myself? So worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, I can always just return to the corporate life. And sure enough, I applied my work ethic. There were lean times where it was a challenge making my payments. I had to use my Visa card to pay my MasterCard, to pay my Visa card again. But then I told myself, as long as I persevere, I don't quit, it'll eventually pay off. And now the school opened up in the fall of 2010. We are going to be reaching our 4-year milestone later on this fall in September. And it's been trending in the positive direction ever since, thankfully, because of having great students. We offer 8 different styles of martial arts, which makes our school, one of the things that makes our school unique. The 8 different styles is Jeet Kun Do. It's a concept that Joe Bruce Lee developed. We have Muay Thai kickboxing, which is the national kickboxing sport from Thailand. Specialties, their elbows, their knees, their shins. That was we're under the world's largest and oldest Muay Thai organization, which is the Thai Boxing Association of the United States, founded by Ajahn Chai Serisuti. Then we have the national kickboxing sport that came from France, which is Boxe Français Savate, and we're under the California Association of Boxe Français Savate under Professor Salam Asli. And then we go into our ground fighting arts, which is Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, under Master Higan Machado, based out in California. We have combat submission wrestling / mixed martial arts, or MMA, under Sensei Eric Paulson, which is the Combat Submission Wrestling Worldwide Association. We have Filipino Martial Arts Kali, and then we have Commando Krav Maga through the CKM organization from Moni Isaac. And then also largely in part to my years of training in martial arts through Sifu Jeff Jones, out in of Tri-State Martial Arts Academy. So for you to find out more information about combat fitness martial arts, our doors are open to everyone, to children, women, and adults of all ages and background. Combat Fitness Martial Arts is located in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. You can hit up our website, which is combatfitnessmartialarts.com. Also like us on Facebook under the same name, Combat Fitness Martial Arts. And our website, the same thing, combatfitnessmartialarts.com. Our phone number, you can also reach us at area code 215-821-8659.